And sources tell CBS News that Republican Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa will not seek re-election next year. It's big news today. Ernst has represented Iowa in the Senate since 2015, and she plans to officially announce that she's vacating her seat next week. So for more on all of this, let's bring in our Friday political panel, Democratic strategist Meghan Hayes and Republican strategist Matt Gorman. The Matt and Meghan show, we're officially calling it. Happy Friday to you both. Great to see you. Let's start with this news about Ernst. Republicans are hoping to hold on to their Senate majority in the Senate. They've got a majority. It's kind of slim. Is Iowa in play at all with this news?
No, look, this was rumored about for several months now. They were going to have to spend money in Iowa most likely sometime during this cycle. I expect a lot of the Republicans to consolidate behind Ashley Hinson, who's one of the reps there. And let's be honest, it wasn't an A tier of crop of candidates on the Democratic side anyway, because there's not much of a bench in Iowa to begin with. They've been kind of decimated over the last 10 years or so. So Joni's going to have a race, certainly. I expect Republicans to consolidate around Ashley. Democrats will still have a primary, most likely.
I mean, it's interesting, Meghan, because I cover Capitol Hill. A lot of people are leaving. I mean, you've got 4 Republican senators leaving for other offices, 2 for governor. We'll see what Ernst wants to do. On the Democratic side, you have several Democrats either retiring or running for other offices. I'm curious what you make of that environment, what it says about Congress.
I mean, I think that for the Democrats especially, they are getting rid of some of their older members or choosing not to run. I think they're reading the room. And I think for these Republicans, they're also reading the room. They've made some decisions. They've bended the knee to Trump, and now they're realizing that some of their policies are not popular. It is not popular to tell people they're going to die when you're going to take away their Medicare in an extremely red state. So I think Joni Ernst was seeing the writing on the wall that Democrats are gaining traction in Iowa. They just won a special election in a +10 Trump district. And that is remarkably good for Democrats moving into these midterms. But she saw the writing on the wall and I think decided, I'm out.
You know, it's interesting. We're talking about senators, but on the House side, could be a lot of movement around. We're kind of in this redistricting battle going on between both parties now. It was interesting because former President Obama has teamed up with Eric Holder, as former AG, to work on this effort to kind of combat some of what Republicans have been doing. I want to play a little bit of what Obama said about this.
We're facing an existential threat to our democracy, and we need your help.
Extreme conservative politicians are announcing and acting on plans to slice and dice House districts with the goal of preserving their own power while diluting the voting power of communities of color.
So, Meghan, for Democrats, how effective will this be? And is there a thought, too, of that they were kind of caught flat-footed, that they may have been outmaneuvered by Trump and Republicans when it comes to this redistricting effort?
Yeah, I think that most Democrats and Republicans prefer a bipartisan commission that does this right after the census. I think they probably were not expecting Texas to then have a redistricting battle mid-cycle, but in the middle of before the census. But I do think this is a wake-up call for Democrats. They are seeing a population migration towards the South into red states. They are going to lose states. They are going to lose seats in blue states. So it's an extremely big wake-up call to them that they need to start organizing in some of these Republican states if they want to have any chance of winning in 30 or 32.
I mean, Matt, if you can kind of put your former NRCC hat on for a minute. We've just learned just a few minutes ago that Missouri is going to be the next state to call a special session to work on this. I mean, I think there are 3, it's a matter of 3 seats up for grab. The Democrats need to flip 3 seats to take over the majority here. I mean, could this end up being a wash? What are we kind of
I think Republicans will try and get some sort of advantage on this. I mean, look, Holder and Obama have been doing this for almost 10 years now. I mean, this group isn't that new. And democracy at risk, how original. We've heard this for the last, 5 years? I mean, maybe it'll work this time. So I think it's a little tough to stomach that, especially also in the home state of Illinois, of all places. But look, I think what it'll come down to is Missouri will likely see one of Cleaver's seat will probably get threaded among several Republicans. I would also look at Nebraska, maybe Florida, Indiana, some other places you could see some down the line redistricting as well. And look, this whole thing started in Wisconsin among Democrats. They went to the courts early this year to try and get the maps overturned. We've seen this over and over again. And so I think you're going to see more of it and likely in the months to come.
I also just would say one thing here is just because these seats are being redistricted to be more conservative or more Democratic, that doesn't necessarily mean those people will win. That doesn't mean their constituents are going to go for a super right person or a super left person. So they still need to be answering to their constituents. So it's not a fail-safe here. This is not a fail-safe problem that Democrats or Republicans are trying to solve for.
And how are Democratic voters feeling about this? Because it seems like a lot of these governors are trying to speak to the base, kind of gin up support, whether this all works or not, to kind of motivate them to kind of fight back. I mean, that's kind of what we're hearing here. I mean,
I think that this is energizing for the Democratic base. I think that the Democrats for a long time have wanted some fighting and some fighting spirit. And I think that Gavin Newsom and J.B. Pritzker in Chicago with the National Guard is really doing that and really motivating the base here, which I do think is a positive. I do think that they wanted someone to just show that they were fighting, show that they were alive and had a heartbeat in any way, shape, or form here. And so I think that's what this is doing.
All right. Well, we will stay tuned. Thank you both for being here. Happy Labor Day weekend to you all. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.